Good afternoon, it's Tony Hayes from Paranormal Investigation UK. Today's date is the 3rd of March 2022, and today we're looking at movie 402, which is dated the 5th of October at 6 minutes past 8 in the main office, which is camera 2, which is the window one. Before we go into that, what I'd actually done during this particular day, last October, was to go, we investigated the wall clock. Now, let me just bring this up. So the wall clock is there. He has his desk there, so that's where the wall clock is. And what he was saying was that this particular wall clock, the sound was coming from that direction, some sort of tapping sound. So we locked on to this wall clock to see what it can do, because the camera one, which is out of the frame here, is here, roughly around the corner, facing. Could this clock be a reason for it to occur? And the answer is no, because it's really low in volume. This is a typical example. There are two videos of this. I can't hear any ticking. And even close up, this is the actual right onto the clock. You can just about tick. You can just about hear it, and that's with the mobile phone right up against it. It's not going to trigger the camera, and it's incredibly unlikely that the camera, unless they amplify it to death, would pick up that sound from that particular clock. So I'm not convinced with that anymore. We were just looking for reasons, and one of the great sort of signature that you get with this type of unexplained rapping sound is you don't have a clue where the sound is coming from. So in the empty room, for example, you're always looking upwards or looking downwards, so we were tending to say ceiling or skirting board, because we didn't know where the sounds were coming from. And you spin your head around, you're looking for where it's coming from. Now, the thing is with hearing is that if you've got generally relatively good ears, then if you had a sound, because of the way that the molecules travelling, that the sound travels on, and the receptors in the air, it can generally tell you where that sound comes from. So if you dropped a coin on the floor, you're not going to be looking at the sky, you're going to be looking downwards onto the floor, roughly where the sound has come from. It's an automatic default, and it works every time. The minute you start to use hearing aids, that ability you lose, because it's a hearing aid now which is passing the signal to the inner ear, and it's not going through 20 feet of airspace. It's right next to the ear, so you lose the ability to know where the sound comes from. So when it is that you're dealing with such things as rapping, and you're looking around clueless to where the sound comes from, just suggests it does something different. It's sort of acting in a different way. no idea what it is, and I haven't got a theory for it, but it does react differently, and that's the reason why we see differences in frequencies when we measure them. And you've always got to look at rational reasons and explanations for certain phenomena, particularly noises. So we've analysed practically everything in this room. And the reason why we went into a bit of detail with this is that the owner was sat on in his office. He could hear rapping sounds. He's looking around, and he generally felt it was coming from round about the clock area, the window area. So thought it might be the clock, but no, it just make an odd noise now and again. But I've not heard it. Certainly not the cameras. It's not picking it up, and it certainly won't trigger it. That's for certain. So that's that one, and it's certainly the clock will not explain what happened a few hours later. I think we can be fairly certain that that isn't a clock. So I've not actually, let's walk at this all the way through, because I haven't done that. I've got a sneaking feeling that sound is going to be very close to the day before, where we had two about 36 minutes apart. That one there, that one there. I think the camera 1 had picked that up. This is a different camera. This is camera 2. I think we've got that wrong. I'm just going to check on the it's camera 2. I am right with that. That's my mistake. I'll just change that. So it was the same camera, it wasn't a different part of the room. Camera 2. It shows you how easy it is to make a mistake. So let's listen to this over there. So we did have two similar sounds the day before. I just can't remember what they said. They sound similar. I'll go with that. We'll soon find out if they're similar when we analyse this. So the first thing we've got to do is to watch it all the way through. That is loud. I don't think there's going to be anything to be seen here. This is the camera that faces out. Just listen to any additional sounds that may give us a clue. You see a bit of smoke coming up here. There. That is off the boiler vent. Saw that, seen that one before. No, nothing else on there. Okay. Right. So what we can do now is I start up Mixcraft and bring that file back in. It's going to be very similar to the last couple of ones that we've done. There it is. All we'll do is just loop it, bring in the analyzer, which is simply a question of copying out the frequency screen. Right, okay. Go for an average reading. Okay. That looks similar to the others. So what we'll do, let's copy that, put it straight into the file. Okay, looking at the frequencies of the day before, this one was carried at, in fact it's 2 days before, it's the 3rd of October, 2122, another alarm, CCTV, and it's got this frequency, big clump of frequency between 500 and 1,000, similar reflections there. 36 minutes later, we've got a similar one. This is at 2158. Very similar. That base frequency is a little bit higher in volume. So volume wise, we're at 42, and now we're on to another one. This is the one from 2 days later. 42. 500 to 1,000. It's the same sound. With 2 days difference. 3rd of October, 3rd of October, 5th of October, 2006, 2122, 2158. So the earliest one is 21, 22, we'll call it 20 hours, so it's about an hour and 20 minutes and 2 days difference between. So there's no pattern with the time, so we've got 3 sounds. If they're all coming, if you recorded them all at exactly the same time, 16 minutes past 8 at night. Something maybe on a time, that type of thing. So there's nothing that matches time wise, and there is 2 days between these 2 events, yet the sound of them, there are subtle differences, but I'm pretty confident that all them 3 frequencies have been caused by the same object, or sound source would probably be a better word. So I'll write that up. This is the beauty about when you keep screenshots of frequencies. Because I hadn't done it, I'd have had to go back and revisit it, because I knew it sounded similar, but it's not once you see the frequency, which is really the DNA of the sound that you're hearing. So what on earth is causing that bang? No idea. Okay, right, that's it. Any comments, please pop them into the comments box, and I'll see you on the next BV. Bye.